I'm going to be really radical to start with and say that by 2027, that's within 4 years, 5 years, every new car produced will be electric. By 2027, my prediction is that every new car globally will be electric by 2027. Okay, if you want to read my work, I write for cleantechnica.com, and that's the author archive. There are handouts somewhere in the room, so if you want a handout, you're welcome to get one. I read a lot of reports that come in from think tanks in America and in like Bloomberg New Energy Finance and Rethink Energy in the UK. And the projections are by 2030, everything, it'll all be over. It'll all be over well before 2030. Countries that are arguing, like the EU has just brought in a goal of all new cars being electric by 2035. Totally meaningless. It'll be gone long, long before that. Okay, that's my baby, Tesla Model 3. You can buy that one now, but you now have to wait about 9 months due to the shortage of production and the high demand from Shanghai and China. All the numbers I give you will be wrong. Okay? These go up every day. The first week of every month on cleantechnica.com, some wonderful people crunch the numbers and will tell you what the penetration of EVs is in every country in Europe. They do Europe first, then they do China, then they do the USA. I am giving you the numbers I have today. They are wrong, and within 2 weeks you will get more numbers, and those numbers will be right for the day that they are published. This is moving incredibly fast. One of the things I challenge you to do is to look at where the UK is. The United Kingdom currently has a penetration rate of about 25%. 1 in every 4 vehicles sold is electric in the UK today. 2 years ago, they were where we are now. So within 2 years, look to see us move very rapidly forward. Today is very exciting to me. I'm seeing electric cars here at this expo that I've never seen at an expo before. So there's like, if you look at BMW, let's give BMW a plug. BMW's had a lot of bad press because they did a great start with the BMW i3 and then kind of dropped the ball. But they are picking up very rapidly. Numbers came out of Germany this morning, and in the top 20 cars that were sold, electric cars sold in Germany in May, the number 1 was Volkswagen, the number 2 was BMW, and the number 3 was Mercedes. Tesla was not on the chart. That is really great because everybody needs to be making electric cars. We really can't all have a Tesla, and it would be boring if we did. Rightio. So, in 2017, the total number of cars produced globally was 100 million. It has never achieved that since. Currently it's about 70 million, and it goes down, it's gone down quite significantly with the Russian war. Has really knocked us. Who knew all this stuff came out of Ukraine? And the chip shortage, yes, reduced the number of all sorts of cars. 2021, about 70 or 80 million. And what's happening in the mature markets is the number of sealed hybrids, that is petrol cars with a hybrid electric motor like Toyota Corollas, their numbers are dropping to 0 in Scandinavia, and in Europe as a whole they're reducing. Okay, just be aware of that. The HEV is slowly becoming extinct. Toyota has recognised this, and now they're bringing out fully electric cars. They're coming out to Australia very soon. It's called the BZ4, Beyond Zero. Look out for that one. Alright, there are mainly BEVs and PHEVs. The numbers from Europe this morning were saying that the number of PHEVs, PHEV is a plug-in hybrid vehicle, like an Outlander, a Mitsubishi Outlander. What's happening is the number of BEVs is increasing and the number of PHEVs is going down. So if you look at a country like Norway, which has 82% penetration, 82% of new cars sold in Norway are electric, but they're battery electric. So that's what's happening. It's not like PHEVs and BEVs are coexisting nicely together, which it was the case, say, 2 or 3 years ago. PHEVs are now going down. In Australia, we're about 5 years behind the curve, but we are on the curve. In the last 3 years, we've gone from 0.8 to 2.4. Last year was 2.4. This year the expectation is 4, and the projections are rising. I just talked to a guy this morning with whom I'm having an ongoing conversation about what the penetration will be like this year. I'm saying 10%. He used to say 4%. This morning he said 5%. And that's because the Chinese are coming big time. Alright, done all that. This is very hard to read. The point of this graph is not to test your eyesight, but to just show the inclination of the curve. So what is happening here is that as countries enter the market for electric vehicles, the transition is happening faster. So the base curve that goes all the way up is Norway, and you'll notice it's a nice gentle rise. These curves to the left, so this kicks in when they've got like 2% penetration. They are other countries in Europe, so Netherlands, Germany, and so on. And what you see there is the incline of the curve is increasing. The later these people are adopting, these countries are adopting electric vehicles, the faster they adopt them. And the reason for that is there's a lot more around. So when I bought my Tesla, before I bought my Tesla, there was like 3 electric vehicles in Australia that I could test drive before I decided to buy a Tesla. Now there's about a dozen, okay? And by the end of this year, there'll probably be up to 20. So increasing rapidly. Okay, so I was wrong, over 90%. So Norway is over 90% electric vehicles sold, brand new vehicles per month. Denmark and Sweden around 50%, Netherlands 33%, Germany, UK, France around 25%. China's up to 29%. So that's 1 in every 3 vehicles sold in China is electric, and that's overwhelmingly battery electric. China did not go much down the fab route. Okay? USA is 5%, so they're about the same as us. They're maybe a few months ahead of us. California is 12%. New Zealand is 12%. This is arriving this year. It's called a Cupra Born. It's what they call a hot hatch. Beautiful car. Have a look at it on the internet. This is Queensland, and this has come from the Ergon Energex. Do this, and this is registrations. And interestingly enough, they include electric motorcycles. But can you see the incline of the curve? You see how it's going up? So that's Queensland, that's home. This is a BYD. These are arriving in boatloads starting next month, 1,500 a month. They have already sold the first 3 boatloads, and no one has seen one yet. Okay? You get the idea of what I'm talking about? This is where it's going, kids. Oh, actually, there is a showroom in Sydney, and there is one in Sydney, which is a left-hand drive that people have seen. So, I'm not too much hurt. I should reduce my hyperbole. Okay, but that's the BYD, Atto 3. So the right-hand drive market is a very small market compared to the left-hand drive market, but basically anything that comes out in the UK is going to come here. So they have about over 200 different electric vehicles available in the UK at the moment, and they've just taken away their subsidy. So you know how we just started a subsidy? Well, they've just taken it away because the penetration rate's so high they don't need to. Plus, the car makers are making so many vehicles they've been able to reduce the prices. The prices are coming down, subsidies are coming off in the UK. So that's ours. So BYD alone may double. See how I've got 4 to 5%? BYD alone may double that. There is a strong rumour that hasn't been able to be confirmed that Great Wall are bringing out their electric cars. They manufacture them in Thailand, which is right-hand drive, and they're bringing out a set of superb little cars called Cats. So the white cat, a good cat, a punk cat, all sorts of cats coming out. And hopefully they'll get here probably early next year. Alrighty. First quarter 2022, so first quarter this year, we're almost at the end of the second quarter. The figures I've got for the first quarter is that Tesla sales doubled from year on year. So if Tesla alone is doubling, that's going to increase the penetration of EVs. But if all the other cars come in as well, and that's again, great to see BMW here with an electric car. Alrighty, the Model Y was launched last week, 10 days ago on the Friday. Model Y was launched. It's a Model 3 but on steroids. It's like a little SUV. They've sold out the first 9 months of production. So if you ordered one within the first 2 hours, they'd have it to you within 3 months. If you order one now, you're going to have to wait 9 months. Okay? That's the size of demand in Australia. However, the good side to it is a lot of people are upgrading their Model 3s. So there's going to be a lot of second-hand Model 3s on the market. They won't be cheap. Okay? Even Elon was surprised. Alright, how do you start? People say, how do I pick an electric car? It's very confusing. There's all this new stuff out there. Ask your teenage kids. Number one, teenage kids know Teslas and electric cars back to front, inside out. Because they're all over TikTok, and they're all over Facebook, and they're all over Instagram. Do some research. There's tons of information on the internet. Be aware, a lot of the information on the internet is either out of date or false. So anything that's more than 2 years old, don't believe it. And be very careful of stuff that says your electric car is going to burst into flames if you leave it in your driveway, unless of course it's a Bolt, because they actually did. Anything that says how bad they are for the environment, all that sort of stuff. There's all these bogus reports out there. Facebook, so these two, AEVO is actually represented here. I don't know if you got to see that. It's actually AEVA, I've put the wrong thing up. Australian Electric Vehicles Association have an absolute wealth of knowledge about all the different electric cars that are out there. They have a Facebook page, it's worth having a look at. Tesla Owners Club of Australia has a Queensland branch. They have a Facebook page, worth looking at. You can also, Big Idea has a Facebook page as well. RACQ, and I did bring my bag down. This is a magazine, do you all get this? Yeah. RACQ and I have had an interesting relationship where they write articles and I write letters about the articles, and they don't respond to my letters. But it looks like things have changed because they've actually done a review of 6 electric cars and they're positive. So be aware of that. So if you trust RACQ, that's a great place to start to have a look at what's in the magazine. And if you have a favourite brand, so if you're really mad keen on Hyundai and you say, oh, I don't want to buy a Tesla, I'd rather buy a Hyundai, I'm happy with Hyundai, they have an electric car. Every major brand, including several that said they would never make an electric car, are now making electric cars. So if you're mad keen on Toyota, wait for the BZ4 to come out. If you're mad keen on Mazda, wait till they produce a better one than the one that's out there. Because it has a it's a brilliant car. I've driven it and reviewed it, I've written a review on it. It's a beautiful car that has very low range. So work out what your lifestyle needs are, work out what brand you like if you're going to go and buy yourself a new car when you need to. So that's the Funky Cat from Great Wall, hopefully available soon. Alright, so I don't advocate that people throw their car in the bin and go and buy an electric. My old car had done 240,000k, needed a new gearbox, I needed a new car, so I bought electric. Alright, constantly changing numbers but moving upwards. All states and the federal government are now offering incentives. I think in Queensland you can get $3,000 for buying off your electric car. The charging structure is expanding rapidly. I've driven to Winton and back in my electric car. 2 weeks ago I drove to Gladstone and back in my electric car. Global 2021 we had 6.5 million electric cars sold around the world. Last year, that was last year. This year it's projected to be 12 million. So that's a lot of cars going electric.